Bonjour à tous, xin chào các bạn. Ờ, Xin chào các bạn đến với trường EICAR tại sự kiện của Campus France. Alors, attendez. Qu'est-ce qui se passe? J'ai oublié de couper la vidéo. Hop, désolé. Je suis allé trop vite. Hop. Voilà, c'est à nouveau moi. Vous m'entendez? On ne voit pas votre collègue. Votre collègue n'est pas revenu. Monsieur.
Oui, on... Ah oui, bon. C'est bon.
Voilà. Bon, bonjour à vous. Xin chào các bạn. Xin lỗi vì sự bắt đầu nó hơi lung tung một tí. Mình đến với cái sự kiện Choisir la France và bây giờ sẽ là trường EICAR. EICAR là một trường sản xuất phim cho truyền hình và điện ảnh. Bonjour à tous. Vous allez vous présenter à notre public. Voilà, on va commencer par vous, Monsieur Tremblay.
Très bien. Bonjour, donc je suis Yannick Tremblay. Je suis le responsable du développement international, du développement à l'EICAR. Donc je suis ici aujourd'hui avec mon collègue John. Voilà.
Hello, my name is John McNulty. I'm working with my colleague here, Yannick, at the film school here in Paris. I'm in charge of the admissions for the international English-speaking programs. So it's a real pleasure to be with you here today.
Ok, donc je vais expliquer maintenant au public comment va se passer le webinaire, donc avec votre vidéo d'abord et puis ensuite votre présentation. Các bạn ơi, cái phần trình bày này sẽ bắt đầu với một clip nhỏ của bên trường EICAR và sau đó họ sẽ trình bày trực tiếp với các bạn. Trong thời gian các đại diện của trường EICAR trình bày thì các bạn có thể đặt câu hỏi của mình ở trong cái phần hỏi đáp. Cái phần hỏi đáp là cái nút là Q và R hoặc trên phiên bản tiếng Anh là Q&A. Đấy, các bạn có thể đặt câu hỏi ở đây và sau khi trình bày xong thì các đại diện của trường EICAR sẽ trả lời cho các bạn nhé. Ok, bây giờ bắt đầu. Voilà, on va commencer. Donc de nouveau, on va vous laisser désactiver vos micros et vos caméras. Et voilà, et on y va.
Hello, students. My name is John McNulty, and I represent the International Department at EICAR, the International Film School of Paris. And it's good to talk to you today about perhaps your options after school, especially if you're interested in filmmaking. Now, the school that we have here in Paris has been in existence since the 1970s in the French department. It started as an acting program, but it quickly developed into a filmmaking school. And we have a Francophone department that has their own options. But my specialty in coming to you today is also to talk about the international programs, where we host programs in English that are practical filmmaking programs for people that have their eye on working in the industry as producers, cinematographers, editors, screenwriters, and directors. Our pedagogy has always been based on the learning by doing method. So you can think of us as a training school, essentially for training people to be film professionals, but having a degree option at the end of it. So we have 3 programs in the international department: a Master of Fine Arts, which is people that have already had an undergraduate degree. That can be in any subject. So that's probably not oriented to where you are right now. You're probably most likely coming from high school, so you would be interested in our Bachelor of Fine Arts program, which is a 3-year undergraduate program really designed at giving you all of the different disciplines in filmmaking. So we very much are a school that are not oriented toward a theoretical understanding of film or studying film theory, but really trying to give you a very good idea of what the international film industry is going to demand in terms of technicians, producers, and directors of tomorrow. So our film and television school in the international department has been in existence for 20 years. We've produced many alumni who have won festivals, who are out there with released films this year that we're very proud of. And really our objective is to train you in your chosen field. So all of the programs that we offer cover all of the different bases. So whether you want to be a cinematographer, a producer, an editor, a director, a screenwriter, we cover all of the different aspects during your time here in the Bachelor of Fine Arts and Master of Fine Arts programs. So you're probably wondering, in the Bachelor of Fine Arts situation in applying from high school, what do I need to do to prepare? Well, we issue our applications online. You can click on our site, EICAR, at eicar.fr, and go to the International Department to request an application. And after that, we get in touch with the application, which lists the main criteria that we ask for. We ask for a letter of motivation explaining the reasons why you want to come, your goals as a filmmaker. What really excites us is the idea of someone having something to say, not necessarily prior experience in film, but something to say. And that often comes through in our interview, a Skype interview, and in the letter of motivation. We also ask for a transcript showing your grades from the school, perhaps that you're at now, the French school. And we ask for a letter of recommendation and, if possible, a small portfolio sample. That can be photos, it can be a piece of writing that you've done to kind of give us an idea of yourself as a candidate and what you want to express. You don't have to necessarily have decided what you want to do in filmmaking yet. There's plenty of time within the program to decide whether you want to specialize in producing or editing. So you really just have to come with a view toward wanting to express something and wanting to go into the industry with a strong motivation. So that is the essential elements we're looking for in the application. Now, one more thing that I didn't mention is the fact that we have a one-year also fundamentals program. The one-year program is intended for people perhaps on a gap year, perhaps people that haven't decided yet whether they want to do a degree program or commit 2 or 3 years to a degree program, for the chance to learn the fundamentals. And if students successfully complete this program in the 1 year, they can go on to continue in the Bachelor of Fine Arts if they have passed all their core classes. So there is always that possibility as well if you want to attend a 1-year program and then continue in the bachelor's. That is perfectly fine. So we're looking for people from all over the world. I think that people with an international background that really want to get into film should consider a range of different film schools, especially if you're interested in getting into the audiovisual sector. And really, we're one of the top-ranked international film schools in the world. So if you're looking to build your contacts, get the training you need to be competitive in this really, really exciting but very tough industry, I would hope that you maybe consider us for international applications. So thank you for your time, and I wish you the best of luck in your future choices of schools and your studies this year.
Alors, nous voilà de retour. Hello again. So we can hear you.
We're back.
Hi. So now you will maybe continue with your own presentation online, and
Yes.
Students can ask you any question in the same time.
Yeah, feel free to ask any question. And we'll be. We cannot share our screen because you have to activate something.
Okay. C'est où ça? Non, c'est vous qui devez partager votre écran normalement.
J'appuie sur partage d'écran et ça me dit l'animateur a désactivé le partage d'écran par les participants.
Vous pouvez réessayer?
Or we can just do it without any presentation, that's fine.
Non, mais ça y est, c'est bon.
Okay, yeah, we can. That's good.
Activé. Voilà.
Can you see the PPT?
Yes, we can see it now. Perfect.
Can I see it? Good.
But please check your mix because it seems that there is a Larsen.
All right. So if everybody can hear me okay, I'm going to walk you through a little bit of the presentation on our school. So once again, my name's John McNulty. I'm here with my colleague, Yannick Tremblay, and we're here in Paris to talk to you a little bit about our school and to maybe answer some questions you might have while we're doing this kind of live presentation. This is in supplement to what I just said in the video. One of the big things this year for us is that we're excited about is that we're coming up on our 50th 50 anniversary of the school, which means that it's great to have a longevity as a film school, to be going 50 years in film training, which we're quite proud of, to have this background. We started out as an acting school, we progressed into a top-notch film school, and now we are happy to say that since 20 years now, we've been doing our English language curriculum programs that have become very successful and renowned. So to give you a little bit of an overview, we are a school that really favors practical training. So as I mentioned in the video, our goal is to get you really the skills that you need to be competitive in a really, really tough industry. The audiovisual industry is exciting, it's growing, but it also requires a good deal of training and a good deal of tenacity and contacts to be able to really succeed in this business. So we're located in Paris. We also have an announcement that I'll deal with later that we're moving our campuses to a bigger complex that we're building in the south. But we are located in Paris. Overall, we have about 900 students in all of our departments. So we have sound, we have acting, we have the English language curriculums, we have BTS programs. We have a lot of different programs to offer. So in total, we're 900. We're about 100 in the international or English-speaking curriculum. But we also have international students also integrated into all of the different programs. So I would say that about 20% of the also Francophone speaking programs have international students coming from all over the world who take those programs. So we're a truly international school. So to give you a kind of an idea, France is actually quite interesting in the world of cinema, and in the sense that, for a country that has the population it has, it does have a fair amount of a film industry here, which is rare in Europe when you compare sizable nations and their film industry. In total, they produce about 250 feature films a year. There are 314,000 jobs, visual arts jobs in Paris. And really the goal of our programs is really to get you the skills that you need to integrate into the film industry. So one thing that we're very proud of is that we take internships very seriously, and our internship program is really geared to try and integrate people into production companies here in France, distribution companies, and to sort of foster those links. Now, it is predicated on the student knowing enough French to integrate into those internships programs. So what we would insist on is that obviously we train you in English here in the English language curriculum, but you also receive French instruction, French language instruction. And in order to really do the internships, it really helps to know French. So it's very important that you also take French to be able to take advantage of the internship program that we have. So as I outlined in the video, we have many programs in the school. In the English language curriculum, we have three main ones. We have a bachelor's, which is a 3-year undergrad. We have a master's, which is a 2-year graduate program. And we have a 1-year fundamentals program. But we also have a very successful 3-year directing program in the Francophone options that very much is also geared to training you in all of the different aspects of filmmaking, forming directors, producers, editors, and giving you a grounding in all the subjects. So you really have a range of different programs. But as far as the English language curriculum, there are those three main ones. The 1 year being the one that you can take for a year and get kind of a grounding in all of the aspects of filmmaking, and then decide whether you want to maybe pursue it further in the bachelor program later on. So really our core values is at the school is really training people to work in a team. One thing that you learn about filmmaking is that you cannot do it all on your own. And especially if you want to be a professional, you have to learn to communicate to a lot of people. So one of our values is really to communicate, to get good at communication and to work with people and to realize that the end result is the clarity of communication with a team and not just the director or the individual that's making it. So we really focus on that. We also believe that it's really important that you get all of the disciplines during your studies. So even if you want to specialize in directing at the end or producing in a final project, you still have to learn editing and cinematography and all of the craft of filmmaking to know your specialization better. We also really focus on the fact that you have to learn by doing. You have to make mistakes. You have to touch the equipment, get to know the technologies. And so that's why 80% of our work is practical on the sound stages that we have here in Paris. So it's learning by doing. The instructors are all working in the industry. So that's very important to us too. We don't have professors that are oriented toward academia. We have professors that are working in the industry and are real editors, real cinematographers that can give you the scope of what it takes to really succeed professionally. We limit the class sizes in the international so that we have plenty of room for one-on-one tutoring with the professor, so the professor can give you feedback on your projects, can meet with you once a week to discuss your projects. And that's really important for filmmakers to get feedback. So the limited class numbers help with that. And then international students, we encourage them to learn French as well as having their classes in English as a possibility. We do teach you French to be able to help you acclimate. So we want students to know what it takes to make it in the industry. What does that mean? Is that we don't make it easy for the students. We insist that they learn the industry standards of permitting, financing, getting insurance, all of the kind of things that you need to make a professional film. That is also part of our curriculum, is to mimic the industry standards and to really do a practical session where people are following in practically. We also have a plurality of disciplines. As I mentioned before, a lot of different aspects of cinema are covered during your time here. And then really the fact that we are a crossroads of cultures and international makeup, meaning that we have filmmakers from all over the world coming both to teach and to study, which leads to a great school full of like different points of view, interesting short films because of those differences. So let's talk about the sector after. The audiovisual sector is, obviously, it's very important, first of all, that you get a training in all of the aspects so that you remain flexible for the new industries that are emerging. Now, as we've seen in the film and television industries, and as well as the industry at large, the model of filmmaking for cinema is changing to streaming more and more. More and more companies are moving to Europe in terms of streaming services. Now we have Netflix oriented in France. We have Amazon starting to make local productions. So what we're seeing is that there are more jobs and more available positions in the film and television industry because streaming is opening up all these new demands for product. So what we're seeing there is that there is that sector opening up. So 86% of our alums stay in the industry after 5 years. That's really important for us. 20% of our alumni stay in Paris to work. But a lot of them bring those skills to their home countries and really succeed with the international network they're making here at making an international career wherever they decide to implant afterwards. Obviously, there are the hubs of Los Angeles. There's Mumbai. There's some filmmaking hubs. But really, what we're seeing is the film is becoming more and more international. So it's more important to have a network of people all over the world, which our school encourages. And then we have the fact that we have our internship program that really encourages people to make contacts here in Paris through the guest lectures that we have with visiting people, through the internships, meeting people and developing your contacts here in Paris is very important also, especially if you hope to you know, to make a context here in Paris. It's very important that you reach out to those companies. We have our own equipment. Everything is included in the tuition. So all of your use of post-production facilities, editing studios, use of the camera equipment, the lighting equipment, it's all included. And also we invest 250,000 euros a year in updating the equipment, keeping it current, and responding to technological changes. So it's very important for us to be on the cutting edge of that, to allow for that instruction. We have a major investment in our facilities. So what you'll see, and what we'll get to in a second, is the fact that not only do we have the facilities now to handle post-production sound, mixing, color correction, editing, all of the kind of infrastructure you need to make a film, but we're also moving into a facility where that is going to increase exponentially. So in the international, what we're really proud of in the English language curriculum programs is that we now have a 20-year history. So in France, we've been offering our BFA, MFA, and one-year programs for 20 years that allows us really to develop an alumni network of past graduates, and to also have the experience to really develop those programs and keep them cutting edge. We also update our syllabuses regularly so that we respond to trends. I remember when 3D was popular about 5-6 years ago, when the industry thought that the trend would be toward 3D, we were able to introduce 3D workshops in our camera training. So we respond to industry trends, and we're flexible in our syllabuses. We also have a faculty of working professionals. Our faculty are working on shows here. Our alumni have won the short film Palme d'Or at Cannes. We have a good selection of staff that are working in the industry. So we have also a dynamic workshop period. We spend 4 to 6 weeks in the middle of the year really introducing about 45 different specialized workshops to supplement your education. So every year you have a workshop period that allows you to take a few more workshops in given areas. We also have the one-on-one style tutoring that's kind of in the Anglophone tradition of having real serious time with your professor every week. We encourage collaboration with the Francophone speaking programs. We have their sound engineers work on our films, their acting department work on our films. So there is a real mélange or mix of crews, especially in the end of year productions. We have our end of year ceremony at the French Cinematheque. If you're a fan of cinema, the French Cinematheque is one of the most famous museums in the world for cinema, and we're very happy to hold our screenings there that are judged by a jury of professionals. And we also have the weekly guest lectures. So how to apply? There's no application fee. I kind of went over that in the video a little bit. You know, all of the materials can be sent via email so that you don't have to post them. We also conduct a Skype interview as well as part of the process. And the process is fairly streamlined. Once we have all the materials, we set up the interview, and you have your answer about 2 to 3 weeks later. So let's talk about our new campus. So in September 2021, we're very happy to be able to offer a new campus for our students. And it's going to be located in Ivry, which is in the south of Paris. You can kind of see a sketch of that there. It's located within a pedestrian area, but it does have views of all of Paris when you get to the top floor. We're over 6 floors of space. There's over 6,900 meter squares of space. There's a 200-seat plus projection cinema going in with Dolby surround sound. There are going to be makeup and prosthetics and art department facilities for building sets on the 2nd and 3rd floor. There's going to be lighting and sound stages, over 8, for practical cinematography and scene work. So that's going to allow even more space for practical work. We're going to have 8 editing and sound recording studios and post-production facilities, including a live recording, music recording studio. We also have over 700 meters of working space for students. So it means the students are really going to have space to be able to discuss their projects, including on the top level here, a kind of a sky room where it's devoted to the students to be able to plan their projects and have a student area, as well as office space for the staff. We're also really pleased to be able to offer the chance of a nearby residence that's being built that places will be reserved for our international students that are interested in staying. So it will allow an ease of access to the school as it's right nearby. So that's going to really change things for us. We're going to have more information about that in January, about offering residences. So as you can see here, you know, it's a kind of a map of where it's located vis-a-vis the metro. It's easily accessible on the 7 metro line. It's going to be toward the south of Paris, and for anyone who's been to Paris, it's not far from the kind of student district of Paris, the 5th and the 13th arrondissements there. So a little bit of how to contact us here. I think probably the best thing right now, if there's any questions that have come up or anything that we can talk about.
We do have 6 questions.
Sure.
Actually. Okay. We're gonna answer.
Yeah, we're gonna try to answer the questions here. Okay, I can
come
answer
back
this
to
one.
help you for the question, because some questions
How can I tell you more about the one-year program? So the one-year program is really devoted to be able to give students the fundamentals of the discipline. So it's basically a year of work. It's basic training in cinematography, editing, directing, producing, all of the sort of core skills. We expect you to do a documentary at the end, because in the one-year program, we really focus on the fact that we want to teach you storytelling as well as writing, but mainly the art of storytelling. So documentary becomes a big part of the one-year program for us. But really, it's a chance to get to know filmmaking, get to know its demands, and really come out of the year with a really good grounding. It's meant as a basics course. It's not really dealing in advanced cinematography, advanced editing, but it's giving you a good basis to decide if film is something you want to pursue. Is it difficult to find an internship in that sector, even with your help? Well, it's contingent on, I think, 2 things. One is that you know enough French to be able to be valuable to an employer. If you are both bilingual in English and French, and you know enough about your discipline to be able to be helpful, that is going to be enormously beneficial on your CV to helping us helping you with an internship. Now, obviously, the film industry is very difficult. There are many people that want to get into it. There are many factors, but one of the big things you can do is try to make inroads through the internship, develop contacts, improve your French, and be valuable to an employer, both as a bilingual, proficient filmmaker that can be competitive. And that is really, I think, the best chance you have of getting a career in filmmaking. Thank you. Do you have any famous alumni? Well, we have Adriano Valerio, who was at the Venice Film Festival this year. He won the Cannes Palme d'Or special mention for his short film. We also have there is an actress on Bureau des Légendes program. The Syrian character in that, Zineb Triki, went to our international department. She was in the masters. She's in that program with that show with Matthew Kassovitz. We have many students who are directors who have managed to make films and in France and Netflix series. A Netflix series right now directed by one of our alumni, Igor Godesman, is on Netflix, and it's I forgot the name of it, but we have many graduates that have managed to have films in the theaters and on Netflix. But what we're really proud of is the fact that 80% of our students stay in the industry. So they may not be marquee names or famous actors, but they are working in the industry and as cinematographers and producers and in post-production. Let's see if I can answer anything else. I have some Vietnamese questions.
Yes,
but,
we can help you for that.
Okay.
All right, so there is a question of Miss Thiện. Cho em hỏi việc hỗ trợ thực tập ở nước ngoài. I have to read the question in Vietnamese first. Của trường dành cho sinh viên cũng như cơ hội việc làm trong thời gian học và sau khi ra trường. Cảm ơn. So he asks you about, I think there was a question in English about that. How do you help foreign students to find,
Internship abroad.
No. I mean so just wait for me for understanding the question. So about the working opportunities, the
Sure.
job opportunities after school for foreign students, not only French students, in I believe it's in France.
Sure.
During the studies and after the studies. So I think you already reply a bit about that, but if you have anything to complete.
It really, the only difference between helping a French or a European student and someone coming from abroad, it's the same department that helps everyone equally. The only thing that we ask for is that the students know enough French by the third year to really be the equivalent of a candidate that that can offer something to a local company. So oftentimes our students in the international programs don't do the internship right away because their French isn't French isn't improved yet. But by the third year, it really is a level playing field with with our internship office, helping everyone to try and get an internship to be able to develop contacts. Now, obviously, in the film industry, it's very much about who you know and developing a good contact. So it's very important to be able to do that. But it's mainly about language, is that you have to learn French first, and we help you with that. We have the French courses to be able to pass a language exam at the end.
There is another question of Mr. or Miss Tan linked to the first one. It's about the, do you have any number of like an unemployment rate after studies? Do you have any statistics about that?
Yeah, we did a survey a year ago of our alumni, and what we found was 80% are working in the industry. So they may not be marquee names or directors, but they haven't changed sectors. They're not working in the airline industry. They're in the audiovisual industry after 5 years. So in a way, for filmmaking, that or the audiovisual industry, that is indicative of our training, first of all, but also the fact that it is a tough industry. It's a tough industry to be able to pursue, and the fact that they're still in it after 5 years, about 80% of our graduates, I think is indicative of the effectiveness of the programs.
All right, so there is another question in Vietnamese, and after that it's all in English, I think. So it is from the same person, Tấn. So em sẽ có bằng đại học điện ảnh Việt Nam chuyên ngành đạo diễn. Em có thể join chương trình Master tiếng Anh được không? So he will soon have a filmmaker diploma, réalisateur, diplôme de réalisateur in Vietnam. Is it possible for him to join the master course in your school? And
absolutely.
What does the recruitment consist in?
Sure, absolutely. In fact, in our master's program, we're attracting students with various levels. So sometimes people come with undergraduate degrees in film. They come with a good deal of practical film experience already. But other times they're coming from other fields, like they have a degree in anthropology or philosophy or something else, that they're deciding to change directions a little bit. So we get both kind of graduates or applicants. The only common denominator is that we insist on an undergraduate degree. So you have to have an undergraduate degree. But apart from that, we look at your letter of motivation, your portfolio sample, your progress so far, and have the interview about that. But the answer is basically film background or no film background. We would welcome his application in the master's.
Okay, now the time is almost over. I think it's over already, but you could just pick up like 2 of the 3 last questions, and if you can.
Yeah, do you have any scholarship programs? The answer is that in the second year, we start to evaluate the student's progress, and if the student is in the top of the class, top ranked students in the bachelor or master's, we offer a scholarship for students to help them finish their studies in the second and third year. So there is starting in second year, but not in the first year. For first year, you should really check out sometimes Campus France because sometimes certain countries have access to things that they're offering. You should also know that as a student in France, once you are a student, you have Social Security and you have access to some funding programs, you know, to do with housing and things like that that you can check out. But the answer to that is not until second year in the English language speaking programs. Do you have any distance courses? No, we don't. One of our beliefs is that we should really be hands-on with the training. In this time of the pandemic, obviously, we've had to do some where possible the Zoom on Zoom. You know, a lot of the courses are distance for right now, but we still have managed to preserve our cinematography class in very small numbers around the camera with COVID protocols, you know, for cinematography. So hopefully in September, with the pandemic kind of starting to be behind us, we will revert back to our full-time practical in-person classes, but we don't do the in-distance learning currently. Do you have alumni network and Vietnamese students? Yes, we've had Vietnamese students. We've had many Vietnamese students over the last 20 years. Some of our alumni, I can, if you're interested in maybe some of the names over the years, I can give. But yes, the answer is yes in all three programs in the English speaking. We've had 1 year, we've had MFA, and we've had BFA.
Thank you very much. I'm really sorry, John, because
Sure.
we will have to end the webinar now. I believe students will still have some questions even after. So anyway, your presentation will be uploaded on your on the page of your school on our website, and it remains there for at least until the end of the year. So don't worry, even those who haven't been able to join will be able to see it after and ask you some question later.
Great.
I would like to warmly thank you, and also Jan. I don't know if he's still here, but yes, he came back.
Thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much once again.
Thank you.
We will be very glad to meet you again in the future, maybe in another webinar. So goodbye.
Hopefully in Vietnam directly.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Thank you.
Goodbye. Ok các bạn, bây giờ cái phần webinar này đã xong rồi. Nếu mà các bạn còn thêm câu hỏi thì các bạn yên tâm. Sau khi xong thì mình sẽ upload cái video của cái phần trình bày này đối với các bạn mà đã không nhìn thấy được. Và các bạn cũng có thể viết mail cho Jan hoặc cho John vừa rồi để biết thêm. Tí nữa sẽ là phần trình bày của
các bạn còn có sau buổi này các bạn có một cái câu hỏi nhỏ nhỏ các bạn điền vào đấy. Nếu các bạn muốn trường liên hệ các bạn thì các bạn có thể để lại email của các bạn nhé.
Khi mà các bạn kết thúc ấy, có một cái đơn rất nhỏ ấy, chỉ 3 câu hỏi thôi, điền chỉ mất 1 phút. Ok. Tiếp theo sẽ là trường Aix-Marseille University. Các bạn sẽ có thể biết thêm về cái trường đại học này, là trường đại học lớn nhất của Pháp luôn nhé. Ok, xin cảm ơn các bạn.
Vào lúc 16 giờ, tức là trong vòng 20 phút nữa.
20 phút nhé. Hẹn gặp lại.